What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Flicking on My Big Tarot here, where I bring you the beauty, juice, and spiritual truths. I'm your spirit guide host, Miss DC. As you all know, you do not have to believe in tarot. Do not exclude yourself from the message because this shit can actually happen. Y'all, today we're going to be discussing good old Reverend T.D. Jakes, who is a Gemini. All my information will be in the description box below. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my video. And if this is so, drop a tip in my Cash App, leave a comment, and let me know. Y'all, I also do personal readings as well. And my online shop is now open. If you all could go and check that out, I would greatly appreciate it. Support, donate to the channel. The link for that is not only going to be in the description box, but it's also on my community page as well. Y'all, and I appreciate the comments and the likes and the subscribes as well. I really, 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 really appreciate all of that, you all. My channel is a little bit slow right now because I'm building a second channel for my primary job, which is a phlebotomist. And I'm creating a new channel, so I'm going back and forth between the two. So yeah, I really appreciate the love and the support from everybody in the midst of this. Shout out to Rico Winston, who was the winner of my giveaway as well. Oh yeah, last little message I'm gonna go ahead and get out. I will also pretty soon be selling the Flicking on My Meme Oracle card deck that I created myself. So yes, again, thank you all so very much. Now let's get into this because I'm not really surprised and I'm not upset about what happened to good old Reverend T.D. Jakes. Again, he is a Gemini. And, you know, it's crazy because, as I've said before, most Geminis are usually in the middle of financial, political, and or religious scrutiny. If you look at people like Kendrick Lamar is always in the middle of some shit, whether right or wrong. Donald Trump, who is a Gemini, he is in the middle of some shit, you know, politically, financially, you know, and religiously at that. You know, Waka Flocka, who I just found out was also a Gemini. He's, you know what I'm saying, very spiritual, and he's been having his transformation, you know what I mean? And now we have T.D. Jakes, amongst other people who are Geminis, but they're usually in the middle of some form of drama, some type of scrutiny, some type of humanitarian acts, whether good or bad. You know, they usually fight for a cause. However, Reverend T.D. Jakes is running around with this Bible, but is living unrighteously. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really appreciate the shit that he does. I mean, my thing is, angels will never shake hands with the devil. You know what I'm saying? They will never do it. And here you have Reverend T.D. Jakes. And this is why, too, y'all, I always recommend reading stuff outside of the Bible. Because granted, yes, the Bible does give you positive insight to some degree. There are also things in that Bible that, yeah, just aren't right for everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things about it that, aren't right for everybody, and you have to use discernment when reading that book. Now, lastly, before we get into the messages, again, when it comes to being using discernment or being discerning about what it is that you're reading, look at the people who hold these books. Look at the people who hold these Bibles, the shit that they say, the shit that they do. You know, and Kendrick Lamar, by the way, I hear is under a lot of scrutiny right now as well. I don't remember what it was for, but I heard it earlier. So let's go ahead and get into these messages. I'm going to be using right now the If You Don't, You Better Get Spiritual Oracle card, since, you know, he's spiritual. I am too, but we're on two totally different sides of the drawing board. So let's get some spiritual messages right now. And these can be very simple. Now, this can also go for any Gemini. If you are Sun, Moon, Rising, Gemini, okay? You might be, like I said, you might be in the middle of some scrutiny, but do not stress yourself. So again, this isn't just for T.D. Jakes. This could be for any Gemini. This message could be for any Gemini with emphasis to T.D. Jakes. Now, again, whether you're on the righteous side or the unrighteous side, you can still receive this message. Now, Spirit is saying, do not stress yourself. Right now, you may be, again, under a lot of scrutiny. You may have, now, if you look at this card, in this picture, there is a dog. and the dog is on its back and is being held by multiple people. Now if you look here, there's my brother and my ex-sister-in-law were trying to take a tick off of the dog, and they were trying to hold him down so that he wouldn't, freak out too much. We were talking to him, calming him down. I clearly was the one holding the picture, holding the camera, but they were trying to hold the dog down so that they could take that tick off of him. So again, a medical issue you could be experiencing, because ticks on dogs could cause major and serious problems, especially to their skin. But again, you may be suffering a health issue and you may need not stress out about it. The end. This also could be the end to, again, a very stressful situation that you're encountering. Hold on, y'all. One second. Yeah, so this could be the end of your levels of stress. You could have been stressed out, but now you may be at a point to, here we go, to the end of the road. Still you can't let go. Okay, y'all need to stop stressing. You're almost at the end of a situation, or something may be the end. Yeah, so you may be able to grow from this situation. I feel like whatever this is that you're dealing with, you're going to be able to get past it. Whatever this situation is, you're going to be able to learn from it. You're going to grow from it. I feel like somebody too may be outgrowing their clothes. Somebody here may want to get some bigger clothes, I'm also seeing. Or somebody may want to change a part of their clothes, or they may be wanting to grow an aspect of their body. Try a new fruit or vegetable. Okay, so you know what I'm getting from this? Somebody needs to be a little bit healthier. Educate yourself on your health. So I think this reading is focusing again on ooh, you see how that fell out like that? Don't do it. So we're going to keep this. So I feel like somebody needs to stop doing what they've been doing. Someone needs to stop eating the way they've been eating, because this may be the cause of, maybe somebody needs to change their diet. And once you change your diet, you can better change your health. And you need to educate yourself on something that may help you. Now, also your blood type. Your blood type could possibly help you with what it is that you need to be eating. It's a different way of understanding how you should eat based off your blood type. Now, that's where the educating yourself is going to come into play. Now, with Geminis being ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet of information. Of course, as we know, Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, and it is very fast-paced. It's learning, it's quick, information. Learning your blood type is going to be vitally important for you. And I say that because if you know your blood type, there's so many different things that you can interact with and not interact with that may be able to help you or sustain you in more ways than what you probably thought. So again, it's not really a shock to me seeing as though T.D.Jakes just suffered a major health injury. And look at that. Gems. God gave it to me. I ain't even prayed it yet. So God probably gave you something ahead of time. So if you ask for money or jewels or things of the world, it was probably given to you. However, it was given to you ahead of time. So I'm getting like, you know, when somebody, I don't even really want to say alone, but when you're fronted something, like if you've ever when they say you front someone drugs, you give them the drugs ahead of time before they've been able to give you the money. You know what I'm saying? So they front you the drugs, you take the drugs and you go and get them, you sell the drugs and then you get the money. I don't condone this, I'm just using it as an example. Now, you may have been fronted jewelry, money, a certain lifestyle, and it's like now you have to pay. And what is it that you have to pay? Your health. Your health may be taking you out. And again, when you're living in an unhealthy or unrighteous lifestyle, everything is always fine in the beginning. You're drinking, you're smoking, you're eating unhealthy, but then it catches up to you after a certain amount of time. And oftentimes people seem to think that, oh, well, it hasn't caught up to me yet, or even if it did, it's not really that bad that I can't get help or healing or whatever. But that's not always the case. Some people suffer strokes and they're never the same after. Some people can't walk, their eyes are slanted, their vision is slurred, the way their speech is slurred. See, truth versus fact. So the truth is, or the fact is, something may look a way that it may not be. So yeah, he may on the surface look healthy, or you may look healthy, but the fact is you're not. Now, you were given all the stuff that you were wanted ahead of time before even asking, but you were going to get it anyway because you were asking for it. You just didn't know that you were asking for it, but it was given to you anyway. But now, truth versus fact, now it's time for you to pay the piper. Look, toxic people, you can be high priced, wanted by many, and still end up like this. See what I mean? You are high priced and wanted by many. Most people want to hear you. Most people want to see you. You're given the job that most people wanted, because most Geminis that I know, somebody's also trying to catch you in the act as well. But most Geminis are really, really good at what they do. Most Geminis are really, really good at what they do. But Geminis also have a very toxic past connected to them as well. And either you're connected to toxic people that kind of make you toxic, or you're just naturally toxic yourself. Because most Geminis that I know have either had a lot of run-ins with the police, they do shit that they know they're not supposed to, they sleep around and they're not really too caring of others. They just do things to people that aren't really right. But for the most part, I think that Geminis will accept responsibility, but after the fact. You know what I'm saying? They may accept a certain level of responsibility after the fact. After it's all said and done and they done did what they did, they usually, from what I know, will accept responsibility. However, it just depends. It depends. Every situation is a little bit different. But somebody may be trying to catch you in the act as well, Gemini. Somebody may be learning about you and trying to catch you in the act of something that you're doing, you and a friend. Ooh, you may be sleeping around with somebody, or somebody is sleeping around on you. Maybe you didn't ask for it, but maybe you wanted to. Maybe you wanted to sleep around with somebody. Maybe you wanted to sleep around with somebody, but you didn't say, you know what, maybe it was just a thought. What if I slept around with this person? What if I did? Maybe you were thinking about it and you manifested it through thought, but you didn't actually ask for it. Maybe it was like, man, I wonder what it would be like to have that person, or what would it be like to sleep with that person? Or maybe you're just envisioning sleeping with somebody that you know or feels has really good sex, or this could even be somebody that you slept with before and maybe you want it again. And it was given to you before you actually prayed for it. Now, that would explain somebody trying to catch you in the act, because maybe somebody feels like you're trying to step out on them. I feel like this reading is all over the place. Yeah, 3 sides to an individual. I feel like you might be dealing with somebody, or you want somebody who is an Aquarius, Virgo, or Taurus. There's truth and fact between these two people. Like, I feel like there's somebody here who is either an Aquarius, a Taurus, or a Virgo, and you may want something with this person, or you know how sex is with this person, and maybe you haven't asked for it, but you might want it, and so somebody is trying to catch you in the act of doing something. Most people don't want kids. People want the toxic relationships that come with kids. Now, what's crazy about this is it came out right underneath toxic people. So somebody here, from what I'm getting, somebody here may have a child. Somebody here may have a child. And somebody wants to connect with you for the sake of a child. Somebody wants you to be responsible for a child. Or if they don't want you to be responsible for a child, they may want a child with you. Or they want you to be responsible for a child. Like, what I'm getting is, my dog has a mean underbite. Yeah, so somebody I feel like is very protective of you. And I feel like somebody feels like the best way to control you, or the best way for you to control them, is by a child, connecting you to a child. Now, what's crazier about this is that most Geminis have issues with children. They have some type of issue with kids. They could be teachers that don't really like their students, or teachers that actually do like their students. They prefer to be a teacher of students. Maybe Geminis don't have the best relationship with their kids. Maybe they're too attached to their kids. Usually, Geminis have some form of an issue when it comes to kids. Like Tauruses, their kinks is food. They're willing to try all types of food: Mediterranean, English, Italian, I meant. Mediterranean, Italian, African, like Portuguese types of food, or Indian food, whatever type of food, they're willing to try different varieties. Like Tauruses aren't the type of people who they don't want to try anything new. Tauruses love food, so they don't mind trying different stuff. Whereas with Geminis, their little kink is issues with kids. They usually always have issues with kids. They may have a boatload of kids and don't get along with none of them. Or, they want to like kids, but maybe the kids don't listen to them, or maybe they're too soft. It's usually an issue with the kids. Now, take your emotions out of it. It says, take your emotions out of it. You never hear take the logic out of it. So somebody is not being logical at this particular time. Somebody's not being logical about a situation. And the card that I pulled says, don't do it. Don't do it. Take your emotions out of it. Do not keep your emotions intertwined in whatever this situation is. Let's get some tarot. You know what? I'm going to use my Light Seers Oracle cards. All right. So, don't do it. Don't do something. There's something that you may not do, but there's a risk here that you want to take. Now, I don't know if Spirit is saying to not take this risk, or think before you take this risk. Or you may need to take this risk. Don't do what you were going to do, and take this risk. So you may have wanted to stress or stay in a situation. Take the risk. And don't do it, as in don't stay in it. Don't do it. Don't do that. Take the risk and get out of this situation, whatever the situation may be. There might be a risk you need to take. I feel like this reading is a little all over the place, but for Gemini, I'm not really surprised. Information is constantly going, jumping. Yeah, there's something going on here with kids. Somebody may also have a pet, or if they don't have a pet, their friend, whoever their friend is that's helping them, trying to catch you in the act. Somebody might have a friend trying to help catch you in the act, and their friend is very protective of them. So yeah, I feel like maybe you lost something with someone. Maybe you aren't able to have sex with somebody that you wanted, or you lost something sexually. Maybe you lost attraction for, or maybe I feel like maybe you lost attraction for one person and you really want it from somewhere else. And it might be because somebody else has better sex, or somebody else has good sex. It's something that I'm getting as well. We got two. So we got the Hangman in reverse, and we got the Knight of Swords in reverse. Somebody here is in a lot of fear over something that they lost. They're freaking out. And again, I feel like you're stressing yourself. You're thinking too much on a situation, and you don't need to do that. Stop stressing yourself out over whatever this situation is. Just formulate a plan. But I feel like somebody feels like they're stuck. Somebody feels like they don't have enough enlightenment. I feel like the answer is coming to them, but something is still bothering someone. Because I feel like somebody feels like they may lose out on a certain type of sex. Like somebody feels like if even though I know I'm not supposed to be with you, or I know that this isn't right, the sex might have been good, but if I leave, or it's something to do, it's something to do with the loss. Somebody has lost something, or maybe they're not getting sex, something involving two people in sex. And maybe somebody else wants to step out, but they know if they do step out, then they could potentially lose this person, or they could lose the sex, or the sex might be the only thing that's good. But something here is bothering somebody, like it's agitating them, and they feel stuck, like they don't know what to do. Somebody too, like I said, somebody too, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so somebody, okay, let me take a look at this, because this is crazy. See, somebody feels like their child is somebody. Okay, so if there is somebody here who has a child, somebody feels like if you walk away, or if you stop dealing with them, they're going to lose all their financials when it comes to the child. So, okay, so if let's say you got a girl and a boy in a relationship, right? And the woman has a child, but the child is not biologically the guy's, right? But the guy has decided, you know what, I'm going to take on you and the child. And the guy has been paying the bills, or giving the child money to help the child out, and giving the mother money to help the mother. And by giving the mother money, it's helping the mother as well as the child, because now the mother can support the child. But if the guy walks away, the mother knows that financial stability is no longer going to go to not only her, but to the child. So the masculine is probably the Gemini, which it doesn't just have to be the masculine. It could be both. It could be the masculine, feminine, depending on who's watching this. But somebody is afraid to lose, or somebody has already lost out because of sex. So I feel like somebody wants to step out because the sex is not good, but somebody knows they can't have it both ways. So maybe it's the feminine. The feminine may feel like, well, even though the sex is not good, if I step out, then I could lose my finances. And you see what I say? Most people don't want kids. They want the toxic relationships the kids come with. So somebody could be attaching themselves to another individual for the sake of financial stability for the child. And see, now somebody may be somebody may be trying to pull away. Somebody may be trying, well, this is confirmation because my child is calling me. Give me one moment. I think that was confirmation. So yeah. Now again, something may be very difficult. Something may be, I think something involving the kids is very, very difficult. I feel like somebody wants to walk away. Somebody don't want, this is going to sound real negative, but somebody doesn't want to be involved with the person and their child. It's like maybe I could deal with you, but I might not be able to deal with the child. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be hard for them to walk away, and they're not really saying anything about it. You know what I'm saying? But collaborating is very difficult to do. Like somebody wants to collaborate, but I think, yeah, something, we got the rebirth and reverse. Like something here is not, it's like I feel like the child may be posing some form of a problem in this relationship. And this could be a reason why your stress levels are where they are. Didn't I say earlier, Geminis, their issues are usually kids. Like they usually run into issues with kids. Maybe they want kids and can't have them, or they have a bunch of kids and they really didn't want as many kids as they had. You know, it'll be something along those lines. They might deal with somebody who has kids and they don't have kids. Or they might really like somebody, but the person that they really like has multiple kids, and maybe their kids aren't really liking the person that they're with. It'd be any type of situation like that. And so it's like, I want to deal with you, but I'm stressed out because I can't just deal with you. I have to deal with your kids as well. So I think this is a lot for somebody to deal with. And it's kind of like one person is saying, so you got, let's just go back to the example of the man and the woman. You got the man who's saying, you know, I mean, I want you and your kids, but your kids don't want to listen to me. Your kids don't want to do what I tell them to do. And I'm not trying to force them to do anything, but it's just like, hey, if y'all are loud and I tell y'all to calm down, don't get louder. If I say, hey, your mom is not here, it's time to go ahead and get in the bed. Y'all take y'all showers and get in the bed. And an hour later, y'all still running around or in and out the refrigerator, or, you know, fucking with the dog or whatever the case is, when y'all should be laying down because it's a school night. You know, you all are not listening. Whenever I tell you to do something, there's always an argument or a fight back. And it's just kind of like, this is frustrating me, and somebody is stressing themselves out. Somebody is stressing themselves out. And it's kind of like the feminine is just like, well, we're going to have to work something out, because if we don't and you walk away, then I'm going to be a single parent with no money, and I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose everything. Somebody may not, I feel like somebody don't have no money. And if you're dealing with a Leo or a fire sign, I did a reading on Geminis, and I also did a reading on Leos. And the Leos, their message overall as a collective was having financial issues. No other sign had financial issues or financial instabilities in their reading. Their readings had nothing to do with a lack of finances or anything, which is why I'm saying, are you dealing with a fire sign? And personally, I know multiple fire signs, Aries, Leos and Sagittarius, all of them are currently going through financial issues at this time. So I don't know if it's something in the air or if it's just the fire signs having that to deal with, but that is something if you are dealing with a fire sign. We don't have any fire cards out here. We do have the Hangman, which I believe is Pisces energy. It may not be. We got Wands. Oh, yes, we do. We do got Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We got the Ten of Wands, and this is the card of just hardships, issues, struggles, problems, controversies. And see, somebody here, I feel like all somebody can offer is good sex. And it's like the sex is really good, but I mean, the sex is really good, and the sex might be what's keeping you. But I feel like you're getting stressed out because of somebody's children, or because of um somebody may not believe what you say or what you do. You know what, Gemini, this is too much. If you don't, you better.